The Byrds, Mr. Tambourine Man. I got this budget reissue in a half-price sale at the record shop in Amersham. I paid £7.50. It plays perfectly, and like many 60s records, it sounds much better than the CD, which I also own. It is also the same budget edition I originally bought back in the mid-70s, when it would have cost me £1. The album Mr. Tambourine Man starts with the song Mr. Tambourine Man, and that song starts with Roger McGuinn, or Jim McGuinn as he was then known, playing a Rickenbacker 12-string guitar line that he says was influenced by Bach. I have been hearing that guitar intro since 1965, and it has always heralded 2 minutes of joyful bliss. The Byrds took a Dylan song and made it one of the most influential records ever. McGuinn had been inspired by George Harrison's Rickenbacker playing during the Beatles' Help period, but it is McGuinn's playing that influenced the Smiths, R.E.M., Tom Petty, the Stone Roses and countless other bands. With my first wages from a Saturday job working for Green Shield Stamps in Wembley, I bought a Byrds compilation album and I played it to death. I heard about a Byrds-like band called Starry-Eyed and Laughing, playing on the London pub rock circuit, and they had a real Rickenbacker 12-string, and I saw them often. They used to play another Bob Dylan song called Chimes of Freedom, and they took their name from a line from Chimes of Freedom. Chimes of Freedom is one of Dylan's classic protest songs. It poetically and movingly takes the side of the refugee and the falsely imprisoned. It is another of my all-time favourite songs. I am known to perform that song, and I struggle not to crack up on the line starry-eyed and laughing as I recall when we were caught. I'm such a wuss. I bought the Mr. Tambourine Man album really just for that one song. There are 2 other Dylan songs on the album. There's their version of All I Really Want to Do, which is so much better than the original, and Spanish Harlem Incident, which is one of those Dylan titles that has little to do with the lyrics, and I only remember which one it is when I hear the opening words Gypsy Girl. There is also a fantastic song called Feel a Whole Lot Better, written by Gene Clark, one of the other main singers. The other original songs have a Beatles-like quality to them, though the Byrds may well have had sweeter harmonies than the Fab Four. There is one song that gives a glimpse of the harmony singing that would later make their song 8 Miles High so amazing. There is also a version of the old folk song The Bells of Rhymney. Everything has that bright chiming guitar sound and sweet harmonies sung by McGuinn and Clark, along with David Crosby and the bassist Chris Hillman. There is not a bad song on the album, apart from possibly the closing number, a folk rock version of We'll Meet Again, the Vera Lynn World War II standard. When I formed a band, we decided we would be like the Ramones meets the Byrds, and so it seems did everybody else who formed a band in or around 1978. The Byrds had many lineup changes, eventually ending up with just Roger McGuinn from their heyday. But about the time that I was playing jangly power pop, McGuinn, Clark and Hillman got back together. They could not call themselves the Byrds, but they were more the Byrds than any official Byrds lineup since 1966. I went with 2 of my bandmates to worship them in our own little jingle jangle morning, one London evening in the Venue in Victoria. We had a stencil we used to mark our band name on our equipment, and I had stenciled it on the back of my leather jacket. We stood at the front, and when we thought McGuinn was looking, I turned around. My friend said he smiled, and I chose to believe them.